Now, the new year is always a time for new beginnings. It's a time for change and a time to set goals. That's when a lot of us want to reset. And as we look forward to the new year, this is when many people start thinking about looking for a new job or initiating a career change. In fact, it's in January, which is like the busiest job searching month of the year. That's according to Job Site Monster, as well as when the most new jobs are posted. So this morning, I'm joined by Business Coach Kefilwe Morobane. She's here to help us set those career goals wisely for the new year. Kefilwe, thank you so much for your time. It's so refreshing to have someone who, is going to help a lot of us navigate our way in the new year, particularly where our careers are concerned. First of all, let's start with what you do. When we speak of an executive coach, what is your job?
So I am an executive and business coach. On a daily basis, I am working with leaders in organizations, professionals who have aspirations, particularly in their careers, or are entrepreneurs and they want to take their business further. And myself, and I've got a dynamic team that I work with, we devise coaching sessions for them, we have programs for them, and we are providing them with the knowledge, skills, and tools that will help them to ultimately elevate how they see themselves and how they show up in the world.
And you're mentioning something very important, the word elevate. And that is what a lot of people are looking for right at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
To elevate, to change, to see a difference in their lives in whatever areas. There's going to be weight goals.
Yes.
There's going to be people waiting their vision boards for different things. People want to travel. But there's one particular thing that becomes a very big one at the beginning of the year, and that is career goals.
Yes.
How do you even set career goals? Where do you even begin, right? Because sometimes I find because of the exhaustion that builds up throughout the year, in December, a lot of us are just like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And maybe that's when we start to think about making these career goals. But where do you start? Where does it all start?
Where does it start? I firstly want to mention that it is natural as human beings for us to seek and aspire for more. There's nothing wrong with you if you're now in January and you're like, something must shift in my life. I can't be doing the same things that I did last year. I want more. That aspiration helps you to navigate this journey of life with something to look forward to. When it comes to the career goals are important because the reality is our careers and what we do for a living consume so much of our time. On average, we're spending 8 hours of our day at work. For those who work online, you find that you're spending over 10 hours of your day online invested in this career. It is important that you need to start off by understanding and defining for yourself, what do I truly want? What does success look like to you? And this is a blank canvas. I always say to the various clients that I work with is that dream big. Do not limit yourself. Have that vision of your life. And then you set goals. And what are goals? Goals are the building blocks to get there. When we talk about our careers, there's a difference. For a lot of us, sometimes you might not be very passionate or love what you do for a living. But you need that career and you need that job because why? It puts food on the table. Absolutely. And with that, you then need to say to yourself, is the current career that I'm in elevating and propelling me to be my best self? Is it using the skills, the knowledge, the expertise that I have to the best of my ability? And if that is a no, then you need to gradually develop a plan for your career. Starting off by asking, what is it that I really want? And then we set goals of how do I get there? And maybe getting there, it is about time that I engage and meet with somebody who's in a similar field or they have that similar job, and I ask them, what did you do to get here? Because then I'm having that mentorship session, and now I'm able to develop the roadmap that will help me to get there. How will I be able to achieve this goal? Is it achievable? Is it realistic and relevant to who I am? Because sometimes we set these goals that are not authentic and true to ourselves. Sometimes you say, I'm looking for a job. And I find it a lot, particularly with graduates who are about to enter the world of work. You just want a job that will put bread on the table. And I hear those sentiments. But where you will excel the most is if you are in a job that ignites that fire within you. So at the same time, you want to be intentional about a job that is in alignment to who you are.
Right. And how do you do that then, Kefilwe, particularly if your aim is to grow within a particular organization?
Yes.
Do you then involve the employer in all of this? Because, you know, it now just sounds like there's a lot of work that you as an individual need to be doing. But then there is that person who needs to be able to also see the efforts that you are putting in. How do you then begin to hone them in and show them that there is this goal that you have within the organization?
Correct. So the reality is this: closed mouths never get fed. People are not psychic. They will never know what your aspirations are. So if you're in an organization and saying, but my manager should know that I'm aspiring for the next position, how do they know if you've never told them? So you need to build the confidence and courage to articulate your goals. You know, traditionally as Black people, sometimes they say, don't share your goals and aspirations with people. But if you don't, and I hear those sentiments, but you also need to be deliberate about who you share your aspirations and goals with, because they could potentially connect you to that goal that you have set out for yourself. So it's about building the confidence and courage to communicate. Communicate with your leader and building that relationship with them and saying, these are my aspirations. Are there any opportunities that you are aware of? Speak to your HR manager and say, in the next year or two, I aspire to be in this particular position. How do I get there? So it is about taking the initiative. It is your life. These are your goals. If you do not guide this ship, no one else will.
Kefilwe, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. What a refreshing way to start the new year with all of those tips and tricks of what to do if you are trying to navigate your career goals. Kefilwe Morobane joining us this morning. She is a business and executive coach. Let's take a break. Stay with us.